What's going on, YouTube? Back with another video. Can y'all see my eyes? A little bit. Um, what's going on, guys? Man, the old man has the weeks gone by, gone crazy. I want to first say thank y'all for always watching my videos. I've been getting like more and more views recently. I don't know where they're coming from. I don't know who's watching these videos, but they're just like, I'm not here to post these joints to get like, famous, like it's more of like just to showcase my life, and more of like a diary. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not really fiending to like blow up all these joints. Like if God gives me that success, I praise God for it. But I'm not fiending for it. It actually kind of brings me to one of the things that I've like learned recently about success and about God. And like I've kind of been like, I want to make sure it's centered. I've kind of been like not stressing, but like I've kind of been learning about like how success and God works. And like one of the main things for me is like sometimes I'm scared to do what God's called me to, like maybe with like fashion or content creation, because I feel like if I blow up, I'm going to like not use the money wisely, or not use the fame wisely, or not be a good steward of it, right? And like it's kind of like got it in my head to the point where like I don't do some of the things God puts in my mind, or I'm like lacking in it. Yo, what's going on here? But yeah, it kind of like puts me in a situation where my fault. There was like, I don't know what the heck was going on. But it kind of puts me in a situation where like I don't know if I can do the thing, because I may not trust myself to be able to handle the fame, the success, And like I was talking to my friend, my man of God, my good friend from church. His name is Hugo, and he told me like, yeah, like people need to stop thinking that like being successful or having wealth is wrong as a Christian, as long as like you're being a good steward of it. Like if you're still like, he gave me an example like, oh, like are you tithing right now? I'm like, yeah, I'm tithing, I'm offering and all stuff like that. I said, that's good. Keep it that way. Keep scaling it and keep giving that 10%, even when you make more money. And like you're honestly good. Like God calls us to be successful. Like, there's actually a verse that God calls us to be wealthy, and like it just kind of changed my life, or the way I view it, wealth, or the way I view success. Because now like I don't feel as scared to like be successful, because the way I might think I might use the money. You know what I'm saying? Like that's basically my biggest issue, is I think that when I become wealthy, or if I become successful, I won't be a good steward of the money, or I'll like go haywire. Like I just start spending it on like crazy stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, but it's like I gotta just to not be afraid of that, and to know that I'll still be rooted, is to be rooted, still be getting my word, still go to church, still do all these things, so that God calls us to do as a Christian, and you will be not necessarily rewarded, but you'll be rooted in Him, to not necessarily fail, but you'll be rooted in Him to walk in His obedience, and like that's just something I've kind of learned, of knowing that as long as I stay rooted, I shouldn't worry too much about how I might be when I get money or get success. Like I should know that since I'm rooted, I'm gonna stay rooted, and I'm gonna be good, basically. And that God calls us to be successful, and like it even like was crazy because yesterday I went to church on Sunday, right? Because usually I don't go to church on Sundays because I work, but I was able to get off because my friend's baby shower. And he, in at church, they were talking about, like the vision and the plan God has for us, and like how we shouldn't be scared of success. Yo, this person is acting crazy. I'm not gonna lie. Yo, this person's moving behind me is wicked. And like they're talking about the vision God calls you to, and like how you should walk in it, and how like God calls us to be successful, and like the reason is if somebody that's a non-believer sees a believer who's not successful or doesn't finish the task that God calls him to, he's gonna mock God. Like this is the God you believe in. Like you don't even you can't even succeed in the thing that God calls you to. Like, and then why should I believe in that same God? You know, and like it kind of woken in me like, dang, like if I don't complete something in the name of God that God's called me to, and people say like, yo, why haven't you completed? Aren't you a Christian? You're supposed to be like this and this. It's like it gets off that image that like God can't do it for you. You know what I'm saying? Even though He can, but you're just like, you're just not disciplined. You're just not, you know, trying to work for it. And then He gave us steps to walk in that vision, and it's like planning, it's praying, and it's execution. There's another like aspect I have written down, but I just don't remember off the top of my head. But the main ones I remember were planning and execution. And like planning is like actually planning, like writing down what you're going to do for the vision God's called you to, you know, and actually, you know, executing it. And execution is not just like, when I think of execution, the way He explained it, it's like the process of you going, right? And the execution is not going to look like the final product. The execution is the process of you going and attempting to do the thing that God's calling you to, like walking in it, basically, you know, like walking towards it. Like if God, He gave me an example. If God calls me to like, He gave an example, I'm saying, the example He gave us, if God called him to touch a drum set, right? He says, okay, God, I'm gonna execute it. He's walking towards the drum, right? That's the execution, right? Whatever the execution may look like, maybe he has to go around some things, maybe he has to jump over some cords or whatever. That's execution. But at the end of the day, he's got to touch it, the drum set. When he touches it, he don't know what the final result is, but he's got to have faith, right? And then, now I remember what he was talking about also. He was talking about adjusting, right? And how like when you plan and execute, but be ready to adjust for anything that happens in life, any like moments, any situations, like just being ready to adjust, being ready to pivot, being ready to adjust. So with learning all that stuff, I was like, okay, I need to actually write a plan down for this brand. I need to write a plan down for this content creation, you know? Like, I need to plan it. I need to have a 3-month plan of what I want to do, right? So I sat down yesterday. I was praying, like, before going to sleep, and I wrote down a plan. I told myself, for the brand, I need to build an LLC. That's the main thing. LLC first. Then we finalize the items I want to drop. We finalize the how they look, and then we start sending out to manufacturers. Then we get samples. And then 3 months from now into March, that's what I want to accomplish. I want to build the LLC. I want to finalize the designs, the items I want to drop, send them over to manufacturers, and get a sample back. That's what I want to do. And like, you know, anything in between that. That's what I want to do. So, that's the plan that I have, and that's the plan I will try to execute. and I'll be ready to adjust. And then after the 3 months, I'll re-edit the plan and do what steps need to take place next. Like write down and like plan out what steps need to be taken next. But yeah, that's all I have for y'all today. I know it's like a long yap session. But yeah, staying rooted, knowing what a success is, not being afraid of success, and not being afraid of wealth, and knowing that God has called us to be wealthy in Him, and money is just a tool. But when you idolize it, that's when it becomes bad. But when you're able to use it to glorify God's name and to help people around you and to help generations, to bring them closer to God, I think that's what God calls us to do, to use as a tool to glorify His name and bring people to the kingdom, you know. But yeah, thank y'all for stopping by in these videos, man. Thank y'all for stopping by every day. And thank you guys for all your prayers, and thank you guys just for in general, you know, being here with me on this journey. So I'll catch y'all on the flip side. Peace.